as a Jewish person, how painful it is for us to say, and it hurts my stomach to say this, so you're going to say, I disagree, that this is a genocide. And that hurts to say that a Jew could do that.
Hamas murdered thousands of people.
So what does that mean?
That Hamas is a terrorist organization for murdering innocent children and civilians.
How many civilians have been killed in this war?
War is a tragedy.
Do you feel in your heart that this is what you're saying is right?
If you remove Hamas...
You don't actually think that.
I told you what I believe. Don't tell me what I believe. I've told you what I believe.
Why would you believe that?
Because there are people who see the world differently. I know it's a shock to you, but there are people who see the world differently from you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize in advance for showing you this video. This is a meltdown of Adam Friedland, who is a self-hating Jew, in front of a Zionist, Ritchie Torres. And he's basically saying, how could you support Israel? I'm Jewish and I don't support Israel. And it gets really embarrassing for him. Check it out.
If you have disagreements with the Israeli government, you should voice your criticism of the Israeli government. But there is no justification for intimidation or harassment against American Jews.
I'm telling you as a Jew right now that we are receiving a lot more hate because of what the people with a flag that has a Jewish star on are doing to other people right now. And I'm telling you, as a Jewish person, how painful it is for us to say, and it hurts my stomach to say this, so you're going to say, I disagree, that this is a genocide. And that hurts to say that a Jew could do that. It hurts because we grew up with learning about what hatred is. We grew up learning about this. And the same year the State of Israel was established, in 1948, the world saw the Holocaust, and they established standards for what a genocide is. It was the same year. And the world said that this shouldn't be a thing that happens. You know? And I just wonder, like, it doesn't make sense to me, I don't know, it doesn't track to me why there's this fixation with kids at a school and two examples of people at a restaurant that there was banging.
Two examples. I mean, there are surveys on it.
Give me
read the ADL surveys on it. Because
it's hard for me to talk about this in public.
Clearly, I mean,
you're being a dick. That's mean.
What? Nothing pisses me off more than these people who turn their back on Israel, turn their back on their people, and then talk about how a genocide is going on. Oh, trust me, I'm a Jew. Does that mean you know anything about warfare? Does that mean you know anything about statistics? Let me give you a statistic. The population of Gaza has risen since October 7th. Gone up, not down, gone up. That doesn't happen in a genocide. It just doesn't happen. The IDF warns before bombing. The IDF continuously drops leaflets, does door knocking, all different types of things to ensure that Gazan people aren't killed in these airstrikes. There are people that are dying. The cost of war, it happens. Anyway, this meltdown continued, and it got really bad. And I want to show you even more of Adam Friedland. I think that's the way to pronounce his name. Just losing it.
Hamas murdered thousands of people.
So what does that mean?
That Hamas is a terrorist organization for murdering innocent children and civilians.
How many civilians have been killed in this war?
The war is a tragedy, but
90%
again,
of
you're
them
suggesting
have been
that
they've killed journalists.
People have been killed in a war. It's been a tragedy.
They've killed people waiting for aid.
But you're suggesting that it is the policy of the Israeli government to murder civilians, and that is a notion that I reject.
You gotta listen, man. You gotta be like a human being about this.
People who are dying in the war, which to me is a tragedy, because war is a tragedy.
Do you feel in your heart that this is what you're saying is right?
If you remove Hamas...
You don't actually think that.
I told you what I believe. Don't tell me what I believe. I've told you what I believe.
Why would you believe that?
Because there are people who see the world differently. I know it's a shock to you, but there are people who see the world differently from you. Yeah.
And I grew up a Zionist. And we were told, and our whole community in this country is told, that we have to defend Israel and love Israel because it will stop the Holocaust. It will stop another Holocaust from happening. And my dad was born in 1951. That was 6 years after these atrocities. His friends' parents, he knew these people that had been through this hell, these skeletons. And it terrified us. And the understanding in our community is that we have to defend Israel. But I lived there, and I went to a settlement at the end of my year there, and I looked down a hill at a Palestinian village, and I saw how they lived, and I turned back and I looked at the settlement and saw how they lived. And people live in a world where they're demeaned and dehumanized and surveilled constantly by people and this isn't in Gaza, by people in SWAT team outfits with semi-automatic weapons, and that's what the world is seeing. And you keep telling me that the problem is someone's getting yelled at a restaurant? I'm sorry.
You're conflating two different issues. So I don't
please,
understand.
please. Me saying this to you right now will hurt.
So Ritchie Torres in the beginning of the podcast, I believe, was talking about anti-Semitism. And so then he brings this up. No. Anti-Semitism isn't the problem. Israel is the problem.
Hurt people in my own family, okay? Because this is a very important thing to us. And the fact that I still fucking care about being Jewish is embarrassing. I should just be a guy. But this feels like a stain on our history. And it feels like it's changed what being Jewish is. Because what being Jewish isn't Israel. Judaism has existed for 4,000 years. This is a country for 75 years. You know, like, it is the oldest, one of the oldest monotheistic religions. Anti-Semitism is one of the oldest forms of hatred. People in my life are going to be mad at me about this, but I'm saying this because I am Jewish.
So he's Jewish, right? He's not a practicing Jew. He said himself, it's embarrassing to him that he's even Jewish anymore because of the fact that Israel is doing X, Y, and Z. So that's already, like he doesn't really care about his Judaism. He'll probably marry a non-Jew, so his kids won't be Jewish. So him saying, as a Jew, on the authority of being Jewish, I'm going to attack Israel. And Israel is only the state for 75 years. It doesn't represent Judaism. Read the Bible. I mean, the entire point of Jewish and Judaism is to eventually get to the Holy Land and to have the redemption, right? That's the entire thing. You talk about Zion. It talks about, how Abraham went to the promised land that God promised him. It's like everywhere in the entire religion is Israel. It's like you can't separate the two. That's why when people say anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism are different, it's like, really? Like, there's a difference? I mean, they're kind of the same thing. Everybody who is Jewish, or like 90% of people that are Jewish, are inherently going to be Zionist, meaning they do believe, even if it's not right now, they do believe in an eventual Jewish sovereign state where it is right now, right? Where we're in the Holy Land. Listen, this stuff pisses me off because you have these people like a George Soros, like an Adam Friedland, like a Bernie Sanders, who are just absolute pieces of shit. Just absolute pieces of shit. In the same way that he gets uncomfortable with Israel, I get uncomfortable with self-hating Jews because they have zero to do with Judaism. They don't marry Jewish. They don't practice any Jewish customs, or if they do, it's very minimal. They aren't observant, and yet they try to represent themselves as being Jewish and try to represent themselves as being a big voice of the Jewish people. Listen, it happens to be, I even heard a story of Trump was once with a friend of his, a Jewish friend of his, and they were anti-Trump. And he said, why are these people anti-Trump? Because I'm so pro-Israel. But in reality, they were, I believe they were Netorah Karta, which is a Hasidic group of Jews that are anti-Israel. And basically he said, these people are very extreme. And this is the problem. A lot of people look at these very, very small voices and say, oh, Jews are actually not pro-Israel. No. Far and wide, Jews are very pro-Israel, very Zionist, very pro a Jewish state. Not even necessarily for safety. I mean, that's one part of it. At the same time, just having a Jewish state is a massive part of Judaism. That's all. I'll leave it at that. I think that they misrepresent the Jewish case. I think that they try to libel Israel from their perspective of being Jewish while also not actually practicing any part of their Judaism. It's like, really, what makes you Jewish? That you're pro-Palestine? Okay, that makes you Jewish. For more, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help us make more of these videos, you can subscribe to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. You can also go to our channel memberships page and join there as a member as well. You can go to our new merchandise store, IsraelUncensored.com, to get merchandise today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.